Okay, so get this. You know how we're always talking about the future and like how science fiction is becoming reality?
Mm.
Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into some seriously mind-bending stuff.
Okay.
I'm talking about a world where you can have a conversation with someone not through text or video call, but inside their dreams.
Inside their dream?
Inside their
Wow.
dreams. Yeah, wild, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like pure science fiction.
Yeah, it does.
But a neurotech startup called REMspace is claiming they've done just that.
Really?
Yeah. Facilitated real-time communication between people while they're lucid dreaming.
Wow. Well, that's certainly a bold claim, and I'm sure it's sparking a lot of excitement and probably a healthy dose of skepticism, too. What's really got me intrigued is how they're approaching this. I mean, they're not just trying to, decipher the chaotic electrical signals of a dreaming brain. They're attempting to establish a structured form of communication within the dreamscape.
Exactly. And it all hinges on this concept of lucid dreaming. Being aware that you're dreaming while you're in the dream. It's like suddenly becoming the director of your own subconscious movie. Have you ever experienced a lucid dream?
I have on a few occasions, yeah. And it's definitely a unique state of consciousness. You get this heightened sense of awareness and a feeling of control that you just don't normally have in dreams.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what REMspace is trying to tap into.
So how do they actually pull this off? I mean, it's one thing to have a lucid dream, but to actually communicate with someone else in that state.
So they conducted this experiment, and it was really fascinating. Participants at home were hooked up to equipment that monitored their brain activity, sleep stages, all that.
Okay.
And one person would enter a lucid dream, and the system would prompt them with a specific word. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The word comes from a dream language they've developed called Remio.
Wait, hold on. A dream language?
The dream language.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like they're creating a whole new way for our minds to communicate.
Tell me more about this Remio.
Okay, so it's not a spoken language in the traditional sense. What they've been doing is they've been analyzing the electrical patterns of the brain during REM sleep,
Hmm.
and they've started to identify specific signals associated with certain words and concepts. So Remio is essentially a library of these electrical patterns.
So they're like sending coded messages directly to the subconscious mind,
Exactly.
and the dreamer can understand and respond to these messages.
That seems to be the case, at least in their initial experiments. So the dreamer would then repeat the word within their dream, and then minutes later, another participant would enter a lucid dream and be presented with the same word, confirming the transmission.
Wow.
It's still early days, but the implications are pretty staggering.
Absolutely. Imagine the possibilities. Learning new skills while you sleep, having therapy sessions in the dreamscape, even sharing dreams with friends and loved ones like we share videos today. It's like a whole new dimension of human connection is opening up.
It's exciting for sure. But as with any groundbreaking technology, we need to approach it with a balanced perspective. I mean, while REMspace is painting a very optimistic picture, it's important to remember that this technology is still in its infancy.
You're right. It's easy to get carried away with the what ifs. We need to ground this in reality.
Yeah.
So what are some of the potential challenges or concerns that come to mind? I mean, we're talking about messing with the human subconscious here. It's not exactly light territory.
Well, for starters, the technology hasn't been independently verified or peer-reviewed yet. So we need more rigorous scientific scrutiny to really determine, its validity and reliability. And then there are the ethical considerations.
Ah, yes.
Hey.
The ethics.
Yeah.
Always a tricky conversation when you're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. What kind of ethical dilemmas might arise from dream communication? I'm already getting Inception vibes.
For one, there's the question of consent and control. Who gets to decide what enters our dreams? If this technology becomes widespread, could it be used for manipulation or exploitation? Could our dreams become another platform for advertising or propaganda? These are all valid concerns that need to be addressed. And what about the impact on our mental health? I mean, dreams play a vital role in processing emotions and consolidating memories. Could interfering with those natural processes have unintended consequences?
Yeah, it's like opening Pandora's boxes.
Yeah.
So much potential for good, but also the possibility of unleashing something we don't fully understand.
Yeah.
But hey, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the man behind REMspace, Michael Raduga. I've been reading up on him, and let's just say he's not your typical tech CEO.
That's putting it mildly. His background and his approach to research are certainly unconventional.
Unconventional is one word for it. The guy implanted a microchip into his own skull to try and control his dreams. Now, that takes dedication to a whole other level.
It does.
What drove him to that extreme?
Well, Raduga has been fascinated by lucid dreaming for years.
Mm-hmm.
He sees it as a key to unlocking the full potential of the human mind.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that by gaining conscious control over our dreams, we can access hidden creativity, overcome fears, even accelerate learning.
So this chip experiment was all in the pursuit of that dream control. Did it work?
The results were inconclusive. He reported some success in inducing lucid dreams, but the experiment was ultimately cut short due to complications. He had to have the chip removed.
Yeah, I can imagine. Self-surgery probably isn't the safest route to scientific discovery, but it does speak to his unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely. And that same drive is evident in his work with REMspace.
Yeah.
He's not satisfied with simply studying dreams. He wants to revolutionize the way we interact with them to make them a more integral part of our waking lives.
And dream communication could be the tool that bridges that gap. It's like building a bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind. But even if the technology proves to be safe and effective, there are still so many questions about how it would be used and who would benefit from it.
That's the crux of the matter, isn't it? Like any powerful tool, dream communication could be used for good or for ill. Imagine the potential for therapeutic applications. People could confront their fears, process trauma, or work through emotional issues in a safe and controlled dream environment.
It's like having a therapy session in the ultimate virtual reality space, a space designed by your own subconscious. The possibilities are incredible. But on the flip side, you could also imagine this technology being used for more nefarious purposes.
Absolutely. There's the potential for manipulation for implanting ideas or influencing behavior without the person's consent. And what about the potential for addiction? Could people become so dependent on dream communication that they neglect their waking lives?
It's a slippery slope for sure. And who gets to regulate all of this? Would there be dream police monitoring our subconscious activities? I mean, it all sounds a bit like a dystopian sci-fi novel.
It's certainly a lot to unpack, and I think it's important to have these conversations now before this technology becomes widely available. We need to establish ethical guidelines, consider the potential risks and benefits, and ensure that any applications of dream communication are used responsibly and ethically.
We've covered a lot of ground here today, from the science behind dream communication to the ethical and societal implications. But at the end of the day, the biggest question remains unanswered.
Is this technology the real deal? Can we truly communicate with others in the dreamscape? And if so, are we ready for the consequences?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we're entering a new era of exploration. Not of outer space, but of inner space. And the discoveries we make along the way could profoundly change our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
And that's what makes this such a fascinating and thought-provoking topic. It challenges us to confront our assumptions about consciousness, reality, and the very nature of what it means to be human.
We've only just scratched the surface of this deep dive, but
Yeah.
we need to take a pause here. But don't worry, we'll be back soon to delve even deeper into the world of dream communication.
And in the meantime, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep dreaming big. After all, who knows what wonders await us in the uncharted territories of the mind?
All right, so before we went on that break, we were talking about, all the potential benefits and downsides of REMspace's dream communication technology.
Right.
And it's a lot to consider, for sure.
It is.
But let's kind of zoom in on one particularly fascinating aspect for me, anyway.
Okay.
The implications for therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the idea of working through like deep-seated fears or trauma within a dreamscape, it's both intriguing and a little daunting at the same time.
It really challenges our traditional notions of therapy, doesn't it?
It does.
Imagine being able to confront your deepest fears in a safe and controlled environment,
Right.
guided by a therapist who can literally walk you through the experience.
It's like taking exposure therapy to a whole new level, right?
exactly.
No more just imagining the scary scenario.
Yeah.
You're actually living it within the dream, but with the support and guidance of a trained professional.
Yeah.
It could be incredibly powerful for treating, phobias,
Yeah.
PTSD, even anxiety disorder.
Precisely. And because dreams tap into our subconscious mind, where a lot of these emotional issues originate,
Right?
it could potentially lead to faster and more lasting results.
Yeah.
Of course, it would require therapists to be trained in dream interpretation and navigation, which is a whole other field of expertise.
Yeah, that's true. Not every therapist is going to be equipped to handle dream therapy.
Right.
It'd be a whole new skill set.
Yeah.
But what about the potential for like self-guided dream therapy?
Oh, interesting.
What if people could learn techniques to control their own dreams and work through their issues independently?
That's a really interesting thought. And there's already a growing movement around lucid dreaming and its potential for self-healing.
Hmm.
So if we could combine those techniques with this dream communication technology, it could empower individuals to take more control of their mental and emotional well-being.
It's like giving people the tools to become their own dream therapists.
Right.
Imagine a future where you could download a personalized dream program to help you overcome a specific fear or process a traumatic experience.
Wow.
It could democratize access to mental health care in a way we've never seen before.
That's an exciting prospect, but it's one that comes with its own set of challenges.
Right.
How do we ensure the safety and the efficacy of these self-guided dream therapies?
Right.
How do we prevent misuse or potential harm? There is still a lot of unknowns.
It's a brave new world for sure.
It is.
And speaking of brave new worlds, let's not forget about the implications for learning and education.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine being able to download knowledge directly into your brain while you sleep. It sounds like something straight out of the Matrix.
It does.
But with REMspace's technology, it might not be so far-fetched.
The idea of accelerated learning through dream programming is definitely tantalizing.
Think about it. You could learn a new language master, a musical instrument, or even acquire complex technical skills all while you sleep.
Right.
It could revolutionize the way we approach education and personal development.
It would challenge our entire concept of learning and knowledge acquisition.
Yeah.
But of course, it also raises questions about the quality and depth of that knowledge.
Right.
Would it be as impactful as learning through traditional methods?
Yeah, would it lead to a more superficial understanding of the subject matter?
Exactly.
And then there are the ethical implications. Should there be limits on what kind of knowledge can be accessed through dream programming?
Right.
Who gets to decide?
These are all important considerations, and let's not forget about the potential impact on creativity and innovation. If we become too reliant on dream programming for knowledge acquisition, could it stifle our natural curiosity and our ability to think critically and independently?
It's like that age-old debate about technology and its impact on human ingenuity. Are we empowering ourselves or making ourselves dependent on these external tools? It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Right.
But one thing is for sure, the future of dreams is looking more and more like the future of reality.
Indeed, the lines are blurring.
Yeah.
And as we venture further into this uncharted territory, we need to proceed with both caution and a sense of wonder.
Yeah.
The discoveries we make along the way could transform our understanding of the human mind and unlock possibilities we never thought possible.
Well, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of dream communication.
It has been a wild ride.
Yeah, exploring the science, the potential, the ethical dilemmas of this emerging technology.
Absolutely.
But now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about the prospect of communicating with others in your dreams?
Is it an exciting opportunity or a potential nightmare?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time. Keep dreaming, keep questioning, and keep exploring the infinite possibilities of the human mind.